Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lerafi Ikabahis, and I'm going to report to you John Locke. Who is John Locke? John Locke is a philosopher and physician regarded as one of the most influential and Enlightenment thinkers, and known as the father of classical liberalism. Born on August 29, 1632 at Ringston, United Kingdom. Died on October 28, 1704 at Essex, United Kingdom. Nationality: English. Education: Westminster School, Christchurch, Oxford. Parents: Agnes Ken and John. The most influential Enlightenment thinkers. The Age of Enlightenment, or the Age of Reason, was an intellectual and philosophical movement that dominated the ideas in Europe during the 18th century. If Descartes described the self as a thinking thing, Locke expanded this definition of self to include the memories of the thinking thing. Locke believed that the self is identified with consciousness, and this self consists of sameness of consciousness. This is usually interpreted to mean that the self consists of memory, that the person existing now is the same person yesterday, because he or she remembers the thoughts, experience, or action of the earlier self. Early years. Locke had many prominent friends who were nobles in government and also highly respected scholars of the times. He was good friend with the Earl of Shaftesbury. He was given government jobs, which he served with Shaftesbury. Locke lived in France for a while and returned to troubled times in England. In 1679, his friend the Earl was tried for treason. Although Shaftesbury was acquitted, the Earl decided to flee England in a way to escape further persecution. He fled to Holland, where William and Mary ruled, but had some claim to the English throne. Owing to his close association with the Earl, Locke also fled to Holland in 1683. He returned to England in about 1688 when William and Mary were invited to retake the reign of England in what historians called the Bloodless Revolution. Eventually, Locke returned to Oates in Essex, where he retired. He lived there until his death in 1704. John Locke Pedagogy. In 1693, John Locke, after writing extensively on topics such as human understanding, government, money, and toleration, published a book which seemed quite heretical at the time. Some thoughts concerning education. Consider the three key themes where are addressed: the development of self-discipline through esteem and disgrace rather than force or reward, the, sec- the significance of developing a good character, and the importance of developing reason in a child by treating the child as a rational entity. Many of Locke's ideas are quite humane and consistent with these strong democratic sentiments. Locke believed that the mind is a piece of wax or white paper which the active educator must keep as still as possible in order to accurately stamp the information we should have the pupil possibly receive. Locke thinks we should proceed. Make sure the child understands and can carry out the task he set from them. Have them repeat the task over and over until the performance of the task no longer depends on memory or reflection. It will perhaps be wondered that I mention reasoning with children, and yet I cannot but think that the true way of dealing with them, they understand it as clearly as I do language, and if misobserve not, they love to be treated as rational creatures sooner than is imagined. It is pride should be cherished in them, and as much as can be, might be greatest instrument to turn them by. Solution. Locke's writing which most influenced the founding fathers of the United States Constitution was the idea that the power to govern was obtained from the permission of the people. He thought that the purpose of government was to protect the natural rights of its citizens. He said that natural rights were life, liberty, and property, and that all people automatically earned this simply by being born. When a government did not protect those rights, the citizen had the right and maybe even the obligation of overthrowing the government. We can conclude that in order to educate, we must make room. In the head, the paper must be clean, the wax must be smooth, the cabinet must be empty. Any thoughts of fear or frustration, well, inevitability crowd the space which must receive the sensory data from without. Thank you for listening and have a great day.